Recently, the Food and Drug Administration has begun cracking down on label claims. Here today to help us understand what this means for dairy food companies is IDFA's Vice President for Regulatory and Scientific Affairs, Cary Frye. Join us for Coffee with IDFA. Thank you for joining us. So tell us, what do these the spate of letters mean for our dairy food companies?
Well, FDA in March took unprecedented action in the number of companies that they cited labeling violations. There were 17 companies and 23 different violations related to the inappropriate use of health and nutrition claims, particularly on the front of packages. Some of the types of warning letters that FDA sent to companies, and they were mostly food companies, not dairy companies, were for the improper use of the term healthy, also for antioxidants or full of antioxidants, using that type of labeling which didn't comply with the regulation, or a front-of-pack labeling claim that cited 0 grams of trans fat but failed to disclose that the product also had high levels of saturated fat.
So it feels like this began maybe a year ago with the crackdown on Cheerios. What's behind this recent?
It did. About a year ago, we saw a dramatic increase, 300% over warning letters the previous year. And this is really because of the new administration, the Obama administration's focus on good nutrition, and food labels are a part of that. And more importantly, good nutrition is important for fighting obesity in his anti-obesity effort. We're seeing clear messages from the Commissioner, Dr. Margaret Hamburg, to the industry that they'll be looking more at nutrition labels, particularly front-of-pack labels, and the industry needs to be vigilant.
Is this going to make it harder for dairy companies to include all of the information about what's good and positive in their products, information we know consumers are looking for?
Well, certainly dairy products have a lot of things we can say about the products being healthy and nutritious, but they're just complex labeling regulations that we have to follow. And there's 3 different areas that we look at in the FDA regulations. One of those is the dairy product standards, whether it's a milk standard or a cottage cheese or sherbet, they have nomenclature requirements. Secondly, we have the FDA food labeling regulations, and they govern the nutrition information, how a health claim must be written, or a nutrition claim such as good nutrition or good calcium. And then lastly, the overarching is the Federal Food and Drug Cosmetic Act. And this would deem a product misbranded if the claims on the label would not be truthful or misleading.
Cary, thank you so much for shedding some light on this issue for our viewers, and thank you for having coffee with us. And thank you for joining us today for Coffee with IDFA. Join Cary and IDFA Vice President Alan Saylor for the Milk and Cultured Dairy Products Symposium. It will cover technology, research, marketing, and innovation. Register online now for this information-rich symposium, May 24th to the 26th, 2010 in Rosemont, Illinois.